Welcome to another video. We're going to do a 10-question theory test on the topic of documents. Okay, let's get straight into it. Question 1 of 10. In order to supervise a learner driver, you need to have held a driving license for the same category of vehicle for at least 3 years. What other requirements must you meet? A. To be an approved driving instructor. B. To have a car with dual controls. C. To be at least 21 years old, or D, to hold an advanced driving certificate. Okay, so if somebody has a full driver's license for at least 3 years, they also need one of these four in order to have a learner driver sit next to them and drive the vehicle. And the correct answer is C, to be at least 21 years old. Okay. So a learner driver can sit with someone they know that is over the age of 21 and has had their full driver's license for over 3 years, at least 3 years. Okay, so it's not just a approved driving instructor that you need in order to do your lessons. You could drive with your mom or dad. Okay, so C. What circumstances require you to notify the DVLA, Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency? A. When you have to work abroad. B. When your vehicle needs an MOT certificate. C. When your health affects your driving. Or D. When you lend your vehicle to someone. Okay, so the DVLA, out of these four, you inform them if your health affects your driving. So if we go on the gov.uk website, we can see that medical conditions and disabilities in driving, telling DVLA about your medical condition or disability. So here you can find that when you may have to notify the DVLA. Let's go and click on diabetes and insulin, taking insulin. Okay, so if you don't notify the DVLA about the medical condition that affects your driving, you may be prosecuted and fined up to £1,000 if you don't tell them. Now, let's have a look here. When do you need to tell the DVLA in terms of your diabetes? You need to tell the DVLA if your insulin treatment lasts over 3 months. Okay, this is just an example. So if this would be the case, then you click on report your condition online. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So C is the correct answer. Question 3. When must you contact the driver vehicle licensing agency? So again, when must you contact the DVLA? When your vehicle insurance is due, when you use your vehicle for work, when you get a parking ticket, or when you change your vehicle. Okay, so out of these four, if you change your vehicle, you have to notify the DVLA. Okay, so let's go on the hint. All right, so DVLA needs to keep its records up to date. It sends out a reminder when a vehicle tax is due for renewal. To do this, it needs to know the name and address of the registered keeper. Every vehicle in the country is registered, so it's possible to trace its history. Okay, so you must tell the DVLA if you are selling the car, for example, or if you have bought a new car. All right. Question 4. What's the legal minimum insurance cover you must have to drive on public roads? Comprehensive, personal injury cover, third party fire and theft, or third party only? Third party is the minimum that you can have, the minimum cover that you need. So this means if you're driving your car and you end up hitting another car and damaging the other car, your insurance would only cover the damage that has been caused to the other vehicle. Okay, the third party. Then we have third party fire and theft. So same conditions again, but fire and theft is included. Or comprehensive, if you want to claim for your car to be repaired and the third party's vehicle, That's all covered in the comprehensive. Yeah, usually this will be more expensive and the third party would be a bit cheaper. Who's responsible for paying the vehicle tax? The registered keeper of the vehicle, the DVLA, the driver of the vehicle, or the car dealer. Okay, so the registered keeper of the vehicle is responsible for paying the tax of the car. You've just passed your first practical test. What will you have to do if you get 6 penalty points on your license in the next 2 years? Retake only your theory test. Reapply for your full license immediately. Retake your theory and practical tests, or retake only your practical test. If you pass your driving test, your first practical driving test, if and you receive 6 points in the first 2 years, you would have to retake your theory and practical tests again. So be very careful. Make sure your car has car insurance. You don't use your mobile phone while you're driving. Do not speed. Okay, so be very careful. If you do get 6 points within the first 2 years, you're going to have to redo your theory and practical test. Question 7. Your insurer will issue you with an insurance certificate. When must you produce this document for inspection? When buying or selling a vehicle, when your vehicle is having an MOT test, when making a SON, or when a police officer asks you for it. Yeah, so when a police officer asks you for it, you have to produce this document for inspection. Okay, your insurance certificate. Okay, so if we go on the hint, the explanation by the DVSA, you must produce a valid insurance certificate when requested by a police officer. If you can't do this immediately, you will have time to produce this in a police station. Okay, other documents you may be asked to produce are your driving license and your vehicle's MOT. Okay, what is a cover note? A document issued before you receive your driving license. So a cover note is related to insurance. Okay, this is one thing that you need to keep in mind when you're answering this question. B, a document issued before you receive your insurance certificate, a document issued before you receive your MOT certificate, or a document issued before you receive your registration document. So B is the correct answer. And nowadays you will usually get your insurance certificate much faster than you used to do back in the days. So you could be getting your insurance certificate through your email and post very quickly. But back in the days, a cover note would usually last for about 28 days, while your insurance certificate will be posted out to you. Okay. Question 9. For how long is an MOT certificate normally valid? 1 year after the date it was issued, 10,000 miles, 3 years after the date it was issued, or 30,000 miles. So 1 year after the date it was issued. So an MOT certificate is normally valid for 1 year. What do you need before you can legally use a motor vehicle on the road? Breakdown cover, proof of your identity, an appropriate driving license, or a vehicle handbook? You would need an appropriate driving license. Yeah. You must hold a driving license, valid driving license for the class of vehicle you're using. Okay. You would definitely need insurance as well. Okay, that's 10 out of 10 questions done. Let's go and click on finish. 10 out of 10. I'll see you guys on the next video. If you liked my content, make sure to hit the subscribe button and comment your thoughts down below.